The comfort zone doesn't feel like a trap. It feels like home. That is the most dangerous thing about it. You don't feel stuck. You feel safe. You don't feel like you're avoiding life. You feel like you're living it on your own terms. Everything is familiar. Everything is manageable. Everything is fine. And that feeling is exactly what keeps most people exactly where they are for the rest of their lives. The comfort zone is not a place. It is a neurological state, and once you understand how your brain creates it, maintains it, and defends it, you will never see your daily choices the same way again. Here is how it works. And here is how to get out. Your brain did not build the comfort zone to limit you. It built it to protect you. The human nervous system is designed to minimize uncertainty. Uncertainty, to the ancient brain, meant danger. Unknown territory, unpredictable outcomes, potential threats. The brain learned to prefer the known over the unknown, the familiar over the new, the certain over the possible. This preference is enforced by your stress response system. Every time you move towards something unfamiliar, a new social situation, a challenging physical task, a conversation you've been avoiding, your amygdala fires. Cortisol rises. Your body enters a mild threat state, and every time you retreat from that edge back into the familiar, the cortisol drops and your brain registers relief. That relief is the reward, and rewards train behavior. You have been trained by your own nervous system to avoid the edge. The result? A boundary, invisible but very real, around the behaviors, environments, and challenges your brain has decided are safe. Inside the boundary, comfort. Outside, the stress response. Most people spend their entire lives inside the boundary, not because they chose to, because their brain made the choice before they were conscious of it. Here is how to see the boundary clearly. The comfort zone reveals itself in the moments before avoidance, the half-second of internal negotiation that happens before you decide not to do the thing you know you should do. You wake up and think about the workout. There is a pause. Then a reason appears. Too tired. Not today, tomorrow. That pause is the boundary. The reason is your brain protecting the boundary. You think about the difficult conversation. There is a pause. Then a redirect. Not the right moment. I'll find a better way. It's not that important. That pause is the boundary. You consider signing up for the thing that scares you. There is a pause. Then the negotiation. Maybe later, I need to prepare more, I'm not ready yet. That pause is the boundary. Start noticing the pause, not to judge it, to see it, because the pause is information. It tells you exactly where your edge is. And the edge is where growth happens. Here is why willpower alone never works. Most people try to escape the comfort zone through motivation or willpower. They get fired up, they commit, they push hard for a week. Then the motivation fades, the willpower depletes, and the nervous system reasserts its preference for the familiar. The reason willpower fails is that it is working against the wrong thing. The comfort zone is not a habit. It is not a thought pattern. It is a calibrated threat response. And you cannot out-willpower a threat response. It is faster than conscious thought. What works is not fighting the response. It is recalibrating it. Your brain assigns a threat level to every new behavior based on past experience. The first time you speak in front of a group, the threat level is high. The 10th time, it is lower. The 100th time, it barely registers. The behavior has not changed. the brain's assessment of it has. This means the path out of the comfort zone is not a single act of courage. It is repeated, graduated exposure, small steps into discomfort consistently, until the brain reclassifies the edge as safe territory. Researchers call this systematic desensitization. You call it doing the thing anyway, every day, a little further than yesterday. Here is the system. Step 1. Identify the edge. Pick one area of your life where you consistently retreat to comfort. One conversation you avoid. One physical challenge you skip. One opportunity you decline. Just one. The edge you are most aware of is the right place to start. Step 2. Shrink the first step to almost nothing. The goal is not heroic action. The goal is crossing the edge without triggering a full threat response. If the workout intimidates you, the first step is putting on the shoes. If the conversation terrifies you, the first step is writing down what you want to say. If the opportunity scares you, the first step is reading the application. Your brain evaluates cost before you act. Make the cost so small that the threat response does not fully engage. Cross the boundary under the radar. Do it enough times, and the boundary moves. Step 3. Stay on the edge longer each time. Once crossing feels manageable, stay in the discomfort slightly longer than last time. One more minute of the cold shower. One more sentence in the difficult conversation. One more set after you wanted to stop. The extension is where the recalibration happens. Step 4. Never go backwards by choice. Missing a day is an accident. Choosing comfort over the edge because you feel like it is a vote for the old boundary. The brain is paying attention to your choices. Every retreat reinforces the wall. Every advance weakens it. Step 5. Let the boundary move, and then find the new one. The edge you conquer becomes the new normal. The conversation that terrified you becomes routine. The workout that broke you becomes manageable. That is not the end of the work. It is the signal to find the next edge. The comfort zone expands when you expand into it. And there is always another edge. Most people will never realize they are inside a boundary built by their own nervous system to keep them safe from a world that is no longer as dangerous as the ancient brain believes. Most people will spend their lives making choices that the boundary approves and calling that freedom. You now know what the pause means. You know what the reason that appears after the pause actually is. You know what it costs every time you accept it. The boundary is not locked. It was never locked. You just needed to see it. See you next week.